When should you talk to my kids about sexuality? Here's another question. When should a teacher talk to our children, talk to their students about sexuality? Well, the answer to these questions in one word is never. Never. Not when they're in kindergarten, not when they're in third grade, not when they're in junior high, and not even when they're in high school. When should a teacher, or for that matter, any adult other than a parent, talk to a child about sexuality? Again, never. Never. And people with any kind of moral compass just inherently know this. It's obvious. It's not an argument. There's no confusion. The boundary is so obvious. You don't talk to my child about sexuality. That's my job. That's my role. That's my God-given responsibility. It's not yours. I've never sought out other children other than my own for the purpose of talking about sexuality. Why? Because it's just not right. It's creepy and it's obvious that it's wrong. What's going on with people who feel the need, they have the desire, they're fighting for the opportunity and the right to talk to your children, our children, about sexuality? What's going on? Something's deeply and seriously wrong, twisted, and I would even say perverted. Here's just some of what's happening right here, even in Arizona. Check out this. Arizona Department of Education provides a resource link for LGBT students. And the link takes you to an online chat room with LGBT adults and teens where they talk about sex and gender. And then it says that the online chat room has a, quote, quick escape feature in case a kid wants to hide it from their parents. This is sick. It's predatory, it's grooming, it's evil, it's wrong. Psalm 127 verse 3 reminds us, it says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward." I mean, is that how we see our kids? They're a heritage from God. They're a reward. They're to be cherished, not to be perverted and pursued sexually. Hey, I just want to make sure that we're not just calling out teacher and school administrators. We know, first of all, that there are a lot of teachers and administrators that obviously are not participating in this agenda. So let's not just pick on teachers, because it would be wrong for my kid's doctor to talk with my kids about sexuality. It would be wrong for my son's barber to talk with him about sexuality when cutting his hair. It would be wrong for Sunday school teachers to talk with kids about sexuality. The boundary is obvious. It's wrong. It's perversion. It's out of bounds. But it's become the norm in our over-sexualized culture. You know, in 2020, and I talked about this back in 2020, in 2020, California passed, and their governor actually signed into law SB 145, which allows pedophiles up to 10 years older than a minor to remain off the pedophile registry. In other words, it's okay if you're just within 10 years of the minor that you're sexually abusing. Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez put it this way. She says, "I cannot in my mind as a mother understand how sex between a 24-year-old and a 14-year-old could ever be consensual, how it could ever not be a registrable offense." Again, it seems obvious. But there is an all-out assault on our children, an assault from predatory adults who desire to groom and prepare our kids for their twisted sexual world. I mean, here we are in the middle of Pride Month. I mean, we're celebrating this as a nation. I go out to restaurants and they got Pride shirts on, like we're celebrating this in our culture. It's evil. Lately, in the news, we've been hearing once again about children being introduced to drag queen shows, drag queen story hours, all this stuff. Again, it's sick, it's twisted, it's grooming, it's predatory. This isn't fun and games. These are wolves looking to devour. You know, Jesus has some strong words for these twisted adults who are going after children. Jesus says, "If anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, It would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Matthew 18:6. It's also in the Gospel of Mark. Are we just going to sit around and put up with this? As parents, as the church, as believers, as followers of Jesus? Are we going to allow our children to be victims of this form of institutionalized pedophilia and twisted indoctrination? Well, we got to band together and we got to shine the light on this darkness. We got to expose this darkness. We got to push back on this evil, and we got to protect our children. I'm going to leave us with this passage of Scripture. It's found in Psalm 146, verse 9. It says that the Lord watches over the sojourners. He upholds the widow and the fatherless, but the way of the wicked he brings to ruin. Be blessed. Pray for our children. Push back on the evil of our age. And most importantly, share the gospel of Jesus. He is our hope.